Hello and welcome back to the SoccerBot SolidWorks workshop. So for the first part of the workshop, we built the SoccerBot chassis, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get through everything I wanted to for the SoccerBot chassis part of it, so I will give that file to you guys. But for the other two parts, I want you to be able to use SolidWorks and follow along with this video to actually build the part. So the part we're going to be building for this one is the motor holder for the SoccerBot. So again, to begin, I used the metric units for these parts. So on the bottom right here, where it says IPS, you could click on it and change the units to millimeter, gram, and second. So to start this off, I want to sketch on the front plane. So I'll click on the front plane first, I'll click sketch, and then I will draw two rectangles in the middle. Sorry, I want to use the center rectangle and attach it to the origin point. And I will make one more like this. Okay, so for the sketch of the outer rectangle, I want to make it to be 24 millimeters. For the height of the outside rectangle, I want it to be 27 millimeters. And for the height of the inside circle, the inside rectangle, I want it to be 23 millimeters. And for the length of the inner rectangle, I want it to be 20 millimeters. So the one thing that's cool about SolidWorks is that when you make a sketch like this, and then you kind of want to make and then you want to like extrude it from a 2D sketch to a 3D object, when you click the extrude boss and base feature under the features tab right here, it will basically infer what you want to do with your sketch. So for example, right here, it's guessing that because I drew two rectangles like this, right, that I wanted a hole right here already, which is what I do want. So I will extrude this to be 37.5 millimeters, and I will extrude it the other way. Okay, so now I have the general basis of what the motor holder is going to look like. Now I'm going to be looking at the left face of it right here, and I am going to want to make a sketch on that face. So on this face right here, I'm going to make a infinite line at this middle right here. And remember again that the dotted lines means it's a construction line, meaning it's kind of like a reference line that will help you place your sketches where you want them or like how big you want to make them. So after that, I'm going to just draw a horizontal line right here. And you know it'll be horizontal if you see the yellow square with a horizontal line. So if I drag it, you see that the yellow square disappears, but once the yellow square appears where it shows a solid black line with inside a yellow square, you know it's going to be horizontal. So do that again for right here. Then I'm going to draw a line that attaches these two. And to make sure that they're symmetrical, I could hold Control, click these three lines, and say that they are symmetrical. And for this, I want to make this height right here to be 5 millimeters. And I want to make this to be 28.5 millimeters. And again, we want to make sure that our sketch is fully defined, which it is right here. And then again, we want to close this sketch so that there's the blue highlight. And we want to do an extrude cut all the way through. Okay, and then the last part of the making the motor holder is again to sketch on this face. Again, I am going to use a infinite line right here, the dashed one, the construction line, to help me later on. And I am going to draw a circle right here. I want to make it to be a 3.05 millimeter circle. And now I need to know where the circle is, so I can smart dimension it. So from the top edge to the center, I want it to be 4.247 millimeters. And for its length from this edge, I want it to be 4.55 millimeters. Okay, and so that I don't have to do this whole process again for down here, I can just make it so that I will mirror it, this over this line, and that is that. And then again, I want to extrude cut it through all, and I have my motor holder finished.